He's back. He's back. Up my chilling spot. Yeah. Just get started. Again, the beginner's 13th step to motivation, which is very interesting document. I like those stuff. Yeah, I like because this is very important for me also to explain it before the way I do things, I see things. Just get started. So before I mention my fear of flying, one of the other keys to this fear and motivating myself to keep going was just to get started. Exactly. That's what happened to me on YouTube. I always had a bit of a fear. For sure there was fear at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie. For sure I was scared. For sure I was scared to fucking shit. But not to shit, but I was nervous. I was like... Certainly I have growth since that time. Hello. I'm not at the same spot I was. The same training spot, not the same. Every breath I take, I become more alive. So imagine how more alive I am since day one. Yeah. One of the other keys to this fear and motivating myself was to just get started. The way I did this was to put my money on the line and just book a flight. It's amazing how once you have spent the money and can get it back, you just follow through. Yeah. If you spend the money on something and you can't get it back, you're just gonna follow through. Do it. Me, that's what I did. I didn't have to I had to put money out maybe to get that GoPro, and that's it. I mean, the momentum is just like I use that story to power my own. It's the same thing. You can listen. We don't have very much different lives from each other. We all have the same problems, just different solutions to our problems, to our everyday problems. My chilling spot is flooded. I wanted to go. Over there on the other rock. I think the water have gone up. Yeah, just get started. By just getting started, you force the motivation process to begin. Yeah, you force it to begin. You force the motivation process to begin. And you virtually guarantee yourself some level of success. The process of flying has now become a bit of a game for me. Just like here, the process of making video on YouTube has become a bit of a game for me. I take that. I have fun doing this now. I love it. I'm outside all the time. And love it. Yeah. The process a bit of a game for me, and I am always trying to one-up myself from the previous journey. Exactly. Not to mention, I am getting hooked on the travel bug and getting to visit beautiful places in the world. Exactly. That day will come. That day will come. Better days are coming. Make sure you keep at it. Make sure you keep at it. With any form of goal that requires motivation, there are going to be highs and lows. Yeah, highs and lows. I know how it feels. Now the lows of my journey, I'm pretty sure it's gone because I'm on a constant high now. I've learned to negotiate with my emotions a lot. My motivation varies all the time. Take blogging as an example. I try and write articles every single week, but sometimes I fall into a rut. It's hard to turn pages. Turn into a rut. Sorry guys. Cameraman problem. Now if I just let the rut continue, then I would give up blogging easily. These ruts not caused by my lack of passion for writing. It's caused by sometimes repetitive nature of writing. The key for me to be able not to give up is to keep myself motivated. That's why I always try to find new stuff. It's good that I come here and talk about the shape of the earth and this, but listen, I gotta grow. How do you want me to stay motivated just talking about that? Come on. I gotta talk about a whole bunch of different stuff and stuff that is positive and that empower me, empower you. That's it. That's all I see it. Yeah, because the key for me to be able to not give up is to keep myself motivated. It's also important to remember that nothing is permanent and all it takes is a little spark of inspiration to get going again. Yeah, get going again. That's why some people will look at one of my video and will get going like freaking crazy, and some will need a little bit more, but sometimes you don't need much. Let's just get back at it and start brushing it again and go back working at it. Don't lose the motivation. If you keep yourself open to those sparks of inspiration, then they are much more likely to enter your life at just the right time. Yeah, that's what you call synchronicity. You're gonna have a lot of spark. A lot of spark. Yeah. Then they are much more likely to enter your life at just the right time. Make the most of inspiring states of mind. The other trick I use is to make the most of inspiration. Make the most of inspiration. This means that I go and watch an inspiring movie or something really cool happens, like I get acknowledged for some work I did and I'm feeling on top of the world. I quickly get out my laptop and start writing. That's what I do all the time. I always make sure I have inspiration flowing. Me, it's the reggae music. For sure, these guys inspire me a lot in my journey because I speak a lot of truth. So I speak my mind just like a lot of these guys do. So I think I know where I belong. Many of us don't make the most of our empowering state. Exactly, it's to make the most of your empowering state. When we feel on fire, we need to use this time to follow our passion. Yeah. The single most useful form of motivation is your state of mind. Now, if your state of mind isn't great, then you can shift it by getting into a peak state. Use public announcements as motivation. For those who have been reading my articles on Addicted to Success carefully, you will notice something that I do a lot. I often announce things I'm going to do publicly. Yeah, I do it also. I often do that. Like me, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna announce a Truman Show because it's very easy for me to back off from a Truman Show and say, oh, I don't do it, or I don't feel like it, or no, I announce it publicly. I use public announcements to really as motivation. As soon as I have something, and often I do it too quickly. You can ask Ivar about that. He's gonna tell you. But yeah, sometimes I do it a bit too quick, but yeah, I use public announcement as motivation for sure. The reason that I do this is because my network reads my articles. And once I say something publicly, I am committed. Exactly. Just like the stock market, public announcements create leverage and a rare form of motivation that doesn't exist anywhere else. Yeah, because you put this is exactly why I'm using public announcement. If you want to know why I use public announcement on Facebook, on YouTube, it's more especially on YouTube, I like to advertise it at least 2-3 days in advance, the hangout, always. Yeah. Because once you say you are going to do something publicly, it's hard to back down. Yeah, say it publicly, you won't back down. You won't back down. You're going to be there. That's why I like to plan my shows, announce it publicly on Facebook, so then I can back down. So every single show, that's what I did. I use public announcement as motivation. Oh, I was meant to read that document this morning. I'll be back with the rest. Very interesting. Public announcement as motivation. Rise and shine, give your best. Don't stress, forget the rest. Peace out.